Alrighty folks, I'm Casey and welcome to a brand new episode of Building with Casey. Well, if you missed the last episode, you missed a really good episode. We took our old kingdom and we built this island right here, surrounded by this lush, lovely river. I really do love this river. We also connected this up with a bridge and a pathway, and we built some cliff faces, and that brings me into what I want to do, which is tear them down, which is incredibly easy because they're only 2 blocks deep in some places. Now my reasoning is very simple. I want to take the same thing that we've done here and just go up by about 3 or 4 blocks and then do another section just like this. And then I want to add in some farms. You see, when it comes to the farms, we can use this thing called a planter to plant in a big area, and then this thing called a harvester to actually harvest everything within that area. The only problem with doing this is we get a byproduct, and that is this liquid right here, which is sludge, which is very bad. Now we can actually take sludge, put it into a sludge boiler, and get some very useful blocks like clay and a few others. I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but we can turn it into something useful so it doesn't become a wasted byproduct. So what I'm thinking is we structure it so that we have 3 or 4 different farms going up here for different seeds, harvesting them, and then we terraform this area right here to create some sort of farm, windmill, and processing plant. And then on this side we'll take the sludge and we'll turn it into all of the other things, and we will pump the excrement and the sludge itself down and into the river. Now of course you can't actually pump it into the river per se, that's not really a mechanic in the game, but we can make it look like it's being pumped into the river, and that could be what's poisoning this swamp here. Now we do have the mods in this pack to be able to change biomes as we see fit, but I think just at least giving it a little bit of lore would be much better. So I think we need to get started. So if that's something you think you'll enjoy, do me a favor, leave the video a like, hit subscribe, and without any further ado, let's get into the episode. So here we are. You can see here that we've got 8 machines in. We've brought the wall down. I've still got this side to do, but we've brought the wall down here, and I think it looks really good. Now, if we switch over to the sledgehammer, you can see the radius of the 8 farms. And I didn't put one here, and I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to put on these 2 yet. I'm thinking industrial emp or just resources that won't be farmable via these, machines, because they don't farm everything, but they do farm a significant portion of everything. Now, I haven't decided what each individual farm is going to have just yet. And as you can see, the grass around them is bigger than the area they'll mine. And that is okay, because I want some crops that are unmined so we can tell exactly which crops are growing in which area. But that does mean that now I have to focus on this side, because I want to get all of these done. I want to see if I can do 8 on this side, although I'm not entirely certain if I'll get 8 this side. I might only get 3 or 6, should I say. But I'm going to give it a go. And just like fire, you can see that we have it all sorted out. There's still some rough edges to be done over here, of course, but we've got all of the farms. Now, I was going to go with 14 farms, but 13 is going to be more than enough, at least for out here. We can add some more at the other entrances to the city in the future. But for right now, I like 13. It's a prime number. It's one of my favorite numbers, and I feel that it works really good. Also, everyone else is online. My wife and my buddy are also online playing too. It's good to have this back up and running and the group playing together again. But now my next step is to start planting them, because underneath we actually have the planter that will plant them all. So I need to go and run around here and organize this farm and get it all set up and running, because what's the point in having it if it ain't running? Now I've got the first of 13 farms set up. Let me show you how I'm actually structuring this. I'm going to set each of the individual farms up the same, but the planter is there with an item duct going into it, or an item conduit. We've got a buffer drawer right here, which is where seeds are. This has got a priority on it, so it will always try to put seeds here before the storage system. And then over here, we've got the item duct, same item duct connected to the harvester. That's going to pull all of the items out of the harvester, seeds and wheat. It's going to attempt to try and put them in this drawer first. That drawer is locked to seeds only, so it can only put seeds there. That'll keep the planter restocked on seeds. If it can't send it there, then it's sending it all the way over here to our storage system, which for now is right here. We are going to move this up here within the farm. I want to build a farm up here, like an actual farmhouse and windmills. Make it look really cool, like it's part of the structure. And then we'll put that inside of it. But for right now, I just want to make sure it's all working and all set up, because there are some crops that I want to grow that I don't actually have all that many seeds for, and so I'm gonna have to go out and get some seeds, or I'm just gonna have to run the farm until it's got enough seeds I'm choosing option number 2. Anyway, 1 down, 12 more to go. I derped. I actually have 14 farms. I thought I had 13. I have 14. Never mind. I've been derping this whole time. I've got more to do. I just created more work for myself. Oh, I'm just brilliant, aren't I? Oh, Casey, all the more work. Ta-dum-dee-dum. We now have the farms in place. Now, obviously, they're not full yet. They are going to be full. Once I've got a surplus of seeds, I'm actually going to go around the outsides here where we've got grass and fill those in as well. I only want the center bit to be the bit that's harvested because that's easiest, but I do want the whole grass patch to be filled with these fields, and I think that's going to look really, really cool to where I'm going to put the farm, which is over here. And I've got some ideas for this. I'm going to do some vertical windmills. I'm also going to do some more traditional windmills with spinning blades. I'm actually going to use the spinning blades from Immersive Engineering. We've got the flax growing over here for that. Just so I've got some idle power generation here. Also, to implement a water wheel here. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do this yet because this is a lot wider than I remember it being. But I'm going to implement a water wheel to generate some power. And I would like the idea that this farm generates enough passive power to literally fund all of this. But the first things first, we need to start getting some sort of build in place, and I'm going to start with the waterfall. So I've added in the river. You can see that it goes all the way back to here. I'm envisioning some mountains up here in the future, but for right now, I'm focusing on this area right here and this farm that's going to take up the vast majority of this place right here. But I do want to show you guys that we do have a little bit of power gen here. As you can see, the wheels are spinning. They're spinning slowly. It doesn't really matter. We just have some passive power gen. It's producing 56 RF per tick, which is really good because these usually generate 30 RF per tick. So we're only losing 4 RF per tick, somewhere around there. So I'm not too fussed about that. And this brings me into what I want to build next. Now, I would like to add in some sort of windmill tower right here. The idea being that you can come in through the bottom and exit through the top. There isn't really much of a reason to come in through the bottom just yet because there's just water here. But who knows, maybe we'll add some sort of bridge going from here all the way over here. Or maybe we will just make a walkway going all the way around here, all the way into my buddy's kingdom. I don't know yet. That's a future project. I just know I would like a way into the windmill down here and a way out of it up here. And like I said, this is going to be a windmill tower. There are going to be windmill blades on it. These are going to be functional windmill blades. I'm thinking windmill blades. Where did that come from? Windmill blades that will also feed into the power generation, and sort of all of the power generation that our farm generates is going to be soaked up down here. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to do down here yet. But my first problem is this windmill. So this is the wonky windmill farm. Well, it's actually just the windmill because we've still got the rest of the farm to do. But as we zoom out, you can see that it starts to take effect. Now, I've put a lot of thought into every detail in this. I kind of like the wonky windmill blades. It's a weak point for me doing windmills, and that's the reason I want to do more is so I get better. I've actually learned quite a bit doing these windmill blades, and I think they could be thicker, but them being skinny makes them look wonky, and I think that'd be a cool name for this, the Wonky Windmill Farm. We've got a flag on top. This is our flag. Everything in here is carefully chosen. We've got signs of the English flag because I'm English. We've also got the gold or the yellow for the rising sun. I've chosen blue for the setting night. We've got green, the colour of my buddy's kingdom, and purple, the colour of my wife's kingdom. So every colour in there was perfectly chosen, was specifically chosen, should I say. But I think this has all come together really well. I added in a boulder just to give some life to this area and a few pieces of just forage. I don't know if I'm going to keep that foliage or not. I might get rid of the you know, those things. Yes, those things. Might get rid of those things. Anyway, I need to think about what my next job in this world is going to be. Okay, so I'm thinking that my next port of business will be the entranceway here. I'm thinking a little bit of an observation tower here, a little wooden one, nothing major or fancy. Then maybe a retaining wall holding back this with a little staircase going up here. And then I'm thinking a pathway would go round here, and somewhere here we'd have a building in which we would store all of our crops. Hey guys, it's been a while. Little supernatural line there for you. So I've done some things since I've been gone. There's a little sneak peek. We're going to take a look at that in a moment. One of the things I've done is I've gone and added water to each of these fields, and I've changed some of them over so that we've got crops that will grow. I had like cranberries on one of these, and every single time I put cranberries in it, it would plant the cranberries and then they would just disappear. They wouldn't get harvested, they wouldn't die, they would just disappear. So I don't know if that's some sort of bug with the cranberries, or maybe there's some sort of special conditions that you need for the cranberries to grow in and they just weren't able to grow. But I have gone and done that. I've also changed out the way that I've got this set laid out underneath. I've removed the storage drawers, that being these ones. You can see I've still got them in for a couple. We've got them in for the seeds, we've got them in for the flocks, whatever that one is. I think that's the barley. We got in for the potatoes. But if we go down here, this one is, I think, asparagus. Yes. And we no longer have the storage drawer there. It was just taking way too long for them to fill up, and I wasn't getting them in my storage. And I found out that if you put consume stack off, that it won't actually consume the stack. And I'm a bit concerned that that one was on, because I turned all of these off. Oh, that one is off too. Through two different designs for pretty much every part of this. This wall originally was spruce with a collection of rocks behind it, but I didn't like it. I thought the oak looked very nice because we got the spruce up there, so there's a nice little bit of contrast. As we get higher, we get darker. I quite like that. Little lanterns hanging from here. We've got a staircase going up. I'm not sold on this granite yet. It's too pink for me. We got another rock here, and we've got a custom tree here. I added in some pink brushes, some pink bushes, just to add some color to the area, and I quite like it. And we can actually go up here now, and we can follow the pathway all the way to the windmill. And I've started work on the storage shed. I've actually got the inside done. It's just the outside that I want to get done. I like these big open archways so you can see into it from when you're down there. And we've got all of the things that we are growing over here. And I've got additional space for more. I do want to add more farmland around the city over the different sides of it. But we've only got this side here for now, so I can't do that just yet. But if we go downstairs, I'm not too focused on decorating down here just yet. But we've got a little bit of an AE system hooked up to this so we can see where all of it goes. Every single piece of crops ends up in this chest. And then it goes from this chest into the storage drawers up and registered here. Now, we're getting close to filling up on wheat. Well, we're not getting close. But when we do fill up on wheat, it is going to go elsewhere. There's two places that I want it to go. The first one is I'm thinking of some sort of farm shop. There's a farm shop just down the road from where I live, and it does amazing stuff. So I'm thinking of having one here. Plus Clarkson has one, so why can't we have one? So I'm thinking of maybe putting a farm shop here where people can come and buy the crops that I do. I want to make sure that I have a storage of all of these crops. So if I need them, then they'll get pumped over to the shop. And remember this philosophy here. First of all, we have a storage system for us. Then they go into a shop, and then they're going to go from there into a vault. Now, there's no point in doing the vault yet. It's going to be quite a while before this fills up. But the vault is going to be full of like endless storage. Like, you know, you get them deep storage units that store a ridiculous amount. And if we look at my wireless terminal, I've got over 42 million stone stored in one, and it's not even full. So I do want to add a farm shop in. And I also want to add in some sort of manor house here, like a really big mansion. Well, not a huge mansion, but, you know, like a manor house, something where the farmer would live. And then I want to center it around Pam's harvest craft. So if we take a look here, there are various things within Pam's that we need, like a saucepan. You can make cooking oil, mustard, just dough, for example. All these extra stuff that we need to be able to craft in Pam's. I want to make sure that we have like a little bit of a patch set up somewhere around here for it. So maybe we need milk from cows. So we'll have a little bit of a cow patch. Not one where we're breeding cows, not one where we're growing them for leather. One where we're just harvesting them for milk. And several other things. But that's a lot of projects, and I think my first one is to get just a rough outline on where I want things to go. Okay, so I've done a few things. The first thing is, as I've dictated exactly where the path is going to go. We're going to go up here, round here, across a little bridge, and over to this structure right here. This structure is going to be the farm shop. This is where the produce, once it's stocked up there, it will go into the farm shop so that the other people on the server can actually buy it, and we can start making money. Currency is emeralds on this server, so I need emeralds. Now, the white block here dictates exactly where a gate, wall, or fence is going to go. It's going to come a bit further forward than this. It's actually going to come like right around here. But the white just shows roughly the shape that it's going to take. It's going to go into the windmill. And then we get the outline of this side of the farm. Once we've got this bit taken care of, I'm actually going to focus on this back bit here. As you can see, we've got this sort of raised cliff face here. It needs detailing. We will detail it later. I'm just not focusing on it right now. I want to do another one right here. And then I want the city to sit on top of that. I think that would be a really good idea. That way we can take the same kind of fence pattern that we're going to use here. and sort of blend it into the cliff faces on this side. I think that'll be a great way to incorporate the farm into the city. But right now, I want to focus primarily on this area over here. First comes the pathway, and then comes the farm shop. So let me talk you through what we've got here. We've got this outside, little entranceway. We got a few of the bits and bobs that we'll be selling around here. You can see when we go into the main foyer, where we've got the desk, we've got the safe where people will pay. In here, we will have the items. We don't have them just yet, though, because I don't actually have any items to put in here. The farm is still producing my stock of items rather than what I'm willing to sell. But then we go upstairs, and I've done something really cool upstairs. You get up here, we will have another stockpile of items here available for purchase. And then out here, we have a nice little deck. These are actual seats that you can sit in. We've got umbrellas. We've got... But I did not finish this banister, look. I have not finished this banister. I will get that done in between the next clips. But you can see the farm shop from all angles. I love this draconic armor that gives us flight. It's so freaking cool. Absolutely love it. Gone for some dormer windows as well. I love using dormer windows. It just breaks up the roof. And I like the way that if we come over here and you start to come up here, how you get bits and pieces of it sort of popping out. It's like, oh, there's a building there. It looks like the stone is part of an old building that stood there. And then you sort of get close and you've got these wooden outhouses that's been built onto it. So it's like originally this was some sort of farmhouse. And then they turned it into a shop and they built extras onto the side of it. And I like that. I like the limestone. I used the limestone because we also had it in here. Didn't use it here. Didn't want it there. So it looks really, really good. Now, my next goal is to come over here and work on this fence right here. And then I want to connect the pathway up to a gate here. And also allow access for my buddy to be able to actually come over for your land rather than flying. Although, you know, you can always cross the bridge. That's an option. But more options are better. Oh, boy. I've been hard at work. I feel like we've accomplished quite a lot in this episode, but I'm going to say this now. I don't think we're going to get the factory in today. I really don't. The video is already at 17 minutes long, and we've already done so much. I'm so happy with what we've done. But I just kind of want to take a walk up here with you guys so you can see exactly what we see as we come in. Now, I've made some changes, as you can see here. I've added in these red lights, and I've given it some sort of awning and frame just to make it feel a bit more alive. It was a bit bland before. I kind of like this. Feels like it really goes in well. And then over here, I had this like big blank wall. I'm like, what can I do with this? I didn't want to do windows. So I added in this like little fruit stall here. I'm thinking maybe I should mix these up just for a little bit of variation like we've got going over here. But also I think this also looks really good because it's also all the same. So I'm undecided, but you can't fail to notice the wall that's been erected around the place. We've got these flags in. I like these flags. I believed I showcased what the flags meant when I did that one. It's been a few days, so I'm not sure. But yeah, we've got the rising sun, the falling night, and the two allied kingdoms, my buddy and my wife. And then because I'm English, we've got a little bit of the English flag here. A little bit mirrored, reversed rather, should I say. But if we move out, you can see a proper view of how this looks from out here. I think this looks really, really good. It looks very farm-like as opposed to military, which is exactly what I want. We're going to have a much grander wall there, which may very well be next episode, or I may actually focus on this over here. But I've got another idea of what I want to do over here. Anyway, I'll get into that in a moment. I just want to take you guys through this. I've tried to keep it simple. Now that I've done this bit, I've gone ahead and I've brought up this wall right here so we can get an idea of where the actual city is going to sit. It's going to sit on top of this wall and it's going to stretch back for as far as the eye can see, or at least I'm hoping so. And that brings me to what my next job is, because I've been debating on what exactly I want to do. I like the idea that this is a farm, and I think this wall definitely fits that feel. I've got the wall in place. Yeah, I can't carry a note to save my life. It's quite a simple wall. I've gone for something unique here because I wanted it to fit in with the wall that we've got going over there. I also wanted it to fit in with the wall that we've got going here. But I wanted it to have a little bit of a variation and not feel as grandiose as those two do, even though they're simple. And so I've decided to go with this cobblestone wall in place of actual cobblestone. This allows me to keep the wall just 1 block wide, and it fits here a lot better than having the 3 block wide wall that we've got over there. Over the course of this episode, we've added in 14 brand new farms. We've added in a couple of decorative patches with trees and boulders, and you can't fail to miss the windmill that we built near the beginning of the episode. Tied it together with a wall to create an entrance to our farm. Inside, we added in the storage for all of our crops, and then decided it would be a good idea to sell them, and so a farm shop was added to our world. with a little cafe for people to sit down and enjoy the beautiful, tasty crops of our kingdom. So there are a few more things that I do want to add into this farm before we can call it complete, but there'll be another day for that. Today, this is where I'm going to bring the episode to an end. I think we've done quite a lot today, and I'm fairly chuffed with what we've got going on. And I want to show you guys something. When I fly from my ME system over to the farm, this is the first view that greets me with this in the fog, the windmill up front, and I really love this view. I can't wait until we get some sort of farmhouse here. But that'll be for another day. I think I'm going to be done working on the farm for the near future. In the next episode, I want to work on this corner. And then if we've got time, then I can do some more for the farm. But for right now, guys, I think that is where I'm going to call this episode to an end. So if you've enjoyed the video, please do consider leaving the video a like and hit subscribe. Consider checking out my other channels. You can view my link in down below, which will take you to all of my social media, and you can follow me on any of my other channels. Minecraft isn't all that I do, and I do have another Minecraft channel. But for this channel, for this video, this is what I'm going to call it for this episode, guys. So like, subscribe, and as always, I'm Casey, you're the awesome folk. See you in the next one.
I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game how we say.